The pros and cons of being a retired police officer. Retirement for anyone can be filled with mixed emotions, but when it comes to retiring from a career in law enforcement, those emotions can be heightened by a cocktail of unique experiences, both good and bad. Pros. Firstly, you have the pension. It's a well-earned financial betting that most private sector workers gaze upon with envy. Starting a retirement with a set amount coming in every month is like having a lifetime subscription to peace of mind. Then there's the sheer respect. When I introduce myself here in Portland as a former officer, there's an immediate uptick in the regard people hold for you. They often thank you for your service. The badge may be retired, but the honor remains polished and worn proudly. Not forgetting the skills, the ability to read a room, to calm an escalating situation, or to provide first aid in emergencies. These don't just evaporate. They're valuable in everyday encounters, and let's be honest, they give a unique edge even in the tame confines of a neighborhood potluck. Community is another big plus. The bond you form while on the force is unlike any other profession. The people I've served with, they're like family. And retirement doesn't mean those ties are cut. It actually means there's more time for fishing trips or barbecues with the squad. Cons. The transition to civilian life can be jarring, like suddenly finding yourself a tourist in a world you once patrolled. You may miss the adrenaline. The heartbeat of the street becomes a silent murmur that you strain to hear. It's an adjustment to slow down when everything in your training has taught you to do the opposite. Physical wear and tear are also common guests at the retirement party. Knees, backs, and hearing, constant companions in the squad car, are now the first ones to remind you each morning of your years of service. And that's not to mention the invisible scars, the emotional and psychological stress that can often follow officers long after their badge is shelved. Lastly, you might wrestle with identity. Being a cop is not just a job, but a calling, an integral part of who you are. Retirement can feel like a loss of purpose, a void that volunteerism or leisure cannot always fill. The duality of this new phase has its joys and challenges. Like walking the streets of Portland without the weight of a duty belt. It feels lighter, but you can't help but check the corners out of habit. So there you have it, the pros and cons of retiring from the police force. Each day unfolds as a different chapter, some reminiscent of the past, the others opening into a future that's less structured but ripe with opportunity.